pies! Love you, Jubbly. Funny thing about these, when I was growing up, I hated them. Loathed them. Now I like them. It's weird how that happens. It's like kids who don't like their greens. Ooh, go eat your greens. When you get older, you'll actually like them. Kind of bizarre. That's the way humanity develops. We end up liking things we hated and hating things we liked. So, we're in the heart of Storm Kira. That's battering everything at the moment. And it's been so bad that it's knackered one of the hangars, or the main hangar I should say, at Duxford, and shut the M11 north and south between 9 and 11, because they're worried that parts of the roof will fly off onto the motorway and knacker drivers. So it's one of those moments where a lot of the roads are closed, most of the advice is don't drive, trucks have been blown over, and most people have just phoned up and gone, look, I'm not going into work, I don't think it's safe. Well done. But anyway, one thing I was thinking about doing on the vehicle channel is product testing things, and that's Maguire's all-wheel cleaner. And I'm obviously not paid, promoted to test things. I'm not being sponsored to test things, promote things. I'll get my words out one minute. I'll get my words out in a minute. And I thought, just to break up the footage on the vehicle channel, I might test a few products here and there, see how they get on. But I'm not paid to do it, so I thought I'd let you guys know. Oh, it's one of those things. This is the third upload now on my weekly upload thing, and I'm completely out of ideas of what to talk about. Got me mug of tea. Oh yeah, Bert went to a wedding fair. That was a couple of days ago. To promote her wares. Something is shaking in here and I don't know what it is. It's really bugging me. So hopefully there won't be any ticking or knocking in the background now. But yeah, we went to Chelmsford Racecourse Wedding Fair. It was supposed to be 2 days, but the wind stopped play. Saturday it was fine. Sunday, however, for health and safety reasons, they wouldn't open the racecourse because they have a limit there of winds of up to 50 mile an hour. And it's all to do with their health and safety and insurance and so on and so forth. And they've got an on-site weather station. And that was predicting winds and things like that up to 90 miles an hour, so they shut the site. But we were the only people there, and this is the weird thing, it's like, it was kind of Bert's idea, because she does obviously arts and crafts. Well, she can do anything really, like table placements and names and all kinds of weird and wonderful things like that. And people go to weddings, plan their weddings, wedding fairs, things like that, and they sort the cake out, the dress out, the car hire company out, the camera people out, and maybe hiring a bar in the back of a converted horse box. The stand next to us was offering that. Not a bad idea really. But nobody ever thinks about the little things. You know, your wedding favours and your placement, markers. You just think, the venue will provide some little, cardboard markers with names on and things like that. The other thing is, again, you hire glassware, don't you? Okay, fair enough, you hire the glassware, whatever, but then you give it back. Whereas for roughly the same price, because obviously Bert's a small business, she doesn't have a huge amount of overheads, and we buy straight from a wholesaler, she can personalise the glassware. It probably costs a couple of quid more, but nothing major, not when you're thinking about the cost of a wedding. Personalise the glassware and then use the glassware, and people can take it as a memento and all that kind of stuff. And nobody at the wedding fair, or any wedding fair I've ever been to, seen or heard of, there's not a kind of arts and craftsy stall pitch up. So she actually did quite well. She was like a female Del Boy as well. It was funny as hell. I don't know whether there's an etiquette at wedding fairs, but all the vendors were all kind of, well turned out, well dressed. I was there in wearing the ensemble, plus I had a pair of Wrangler cowboy boots, and I've got a gambler's hat, a cowboy gambler's hat. The kind of thing that basically it's the same hat that Doc Holliday wears in Winona Earp, if you've ever heard of that program. It's slightly different, but the same kind of style. And I was there in that, and Bert was in a t-shirt that she's got her company logo plastered across, and everybody else was there in suits and ties and all this kind of stuff. And they were all kind of standing by their stands, allowing the brides and members of the family or bridesmaids to approach them to talk about what they do, their wares, and so on and so forth. Bert, on the other hand, brilliant. People are walking past. Come over here. Come and have a shufty at this. Let me tell you about what I'm doing. Proper kind of Del Boy in it. It was just the funniest thing I've seen. Because you walk around the wedding event the fair, and all these people are set up and they're talking to the people who've approached them. None of them are kind of doing 2 for a pound, 10 for a fiver, come over. None of them are kind of doing that kind of stuff. It was brilliant. She got, what did she get now? She got 26, 27 people's information for her to send an email to and a link and all that kind of stuff, and to talk about in depth what they're planning for their wedding or what they could potentially want for their wedding. Because obviously Bert can, I don't know whether it's obvious to you, if you follow me on social media it may well be, but she got the laser etching machine, it can cut wood, thin pieces of wood. And so she can, if you've got like a theme for your wedding, let's say stags for example, whatever, and I'm actually talking the animal, not the stag night. Say you got stags for example, she can do cake topper in the stag, she can do table placement in the stag, she can do little keepsake things in the shape of stag, all that kind of stuff, and of course etch stags on the glass and all that kind of stuff. And so she got like, I think it was 27, I think 26 or 27 people's information to email them back and discuss further and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of people were taking her cards, her little business cards, and she actually did really well. The table next to us, the setup next to us, they've got a converted, like I think I referenced it a moment ago, they've got a converted horse trailer, and it's a bar, and you hire it, and they provide the glass and all that kind of stuff. And Bert was really irritating them because she was pointing out, you can hire the glassware and all this kind of stuff, and it will cost you X amount, but for pretty much the same kind of money, you can own it through us, personalised, etched, with your wedding stuff on. Really annoying them. And they were getting very few people rock up to their stand. However, on the other side of us was this guy who does photography, but he creates videos, film of the event, and he's got drones and all kinds of stuff, and he sets his cameras up and records the dance and everything, and gives you a film of your wedding. It's a brilliant idea. And a really good guy as well. And he was loving it because Bert was literally just hooking anyone that walked past. Come over here, come and let me tell you what I'm doing, come and have a shufty, when's the big day? Proper, when you think Del Boy, I'm not kidding. She was the female Del Boy. I kid you not, I swear. She's hooking them. And so she had this crowd and she's going through a spiel, like Del Boy does. And of course people in the crowd are, they're looking and this is different, we've been around all these stalls and nobody's doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, very good. Because everybody forgets the placements and the little favours and, maybe keeping glassware and stuff like that. Nobody thinks about that. So it was a good idea. And whilst they're listening to her pitch, some of them are looking at the stand next to us with his video playing and all this kind of stuff, because he'd recorded a wedding and he'd edited it and he was showing what he could do. And so they were leaving us, going to him, And then when he was holding people, chatting about what he was doing, they were looking at Bert's table and coming to us. We were working like this team. It was brilliant. But the people with the, the hiring and old, and it was one of the old school horse trailers. The metal one, the corrugated metal one. It looks like a garage door style thing, but corrugated. A really old, retired one that they'd obviously done up. And although it's a good idea, mobile bar, we can come to cater your wedding or your off-site venue and all that kind of stuff. It's got problems. It's got drawbacks. First of all, do you want an old metal horse box in your wedding photos at your venue, looking like a burger van? And it did, because they rocked up outside with the actual vehicle, and they were selling beverages outside. Although I didn't know, and that was really annoying because I'd have gone and got a beverage. But I'd have got several beverages actually. But the problem is that most venues you go to hold your wedding or wedding reception or both have a bar. Or you hold a wedding reception at a pub. And so they were kind of really struggling, and the two people they had as their sales reps inside, because obviously they were hammering people outside, they'd set up right by the door with their trailer and everything and getting people coming in, all this kind of stuff. But their sales reps inside were literally doing nothing. They were not trying to interact with people who were going past. They weren't trying to generate any kind of lead. They were literally, one stood our end, one stood the opposite end, and they either chatted to one another or they knew some other people who had set up at the wedding fair, and they were chatting to them as they were coming across. And it was the most bizarre kind of... because everybody was trying to engage with people. Bert was doing an amazing job of, creating a crowd, and I swear it was Delboy. It was a female version of Delboy. And I was standing there feeling like Rodney, trust me. Because there was a couple of occasions where she's dealing with customers taking some details and that, and I wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be her and her sister, but her sister was ill and my shift got cancelled. Now, given the weather for the weekend, I don't mind my shift getting cancelled. And so I'm kind of there just as support, and she had these little goodie bags. There was a bookmark thing that in wood that she'd etched out in there. There was a little free chocolate thingy and a business card and a little flyer. Just something stupid and simple to give away as to remember you by. And so I was in charge of filling those and giving those out, and that was all I was doing. Anyway, she's giving a patter to this group, and one young bride to be with the little sticker getting married on, she leaned in and said, "Excuse me, can I have a word?" And I was like, "Yeah, not a problem." And she said, "How much is this and that and that kind of..." I don't have a goddamn clue. I don't have an idea. And so now I'm trying to keep them chatting, and obviously I'm a relatively chatty guy anyway. Don't know whether you've noticed this, but I'm now trying to keep them chatting so that Bert can finish her spiel, get their details, and help me. And she's like, "Oh no, I've heard your wife's patter and all this kind of stuff. We're just curious, roughly what kind of costs are we looking at?" Now, Bert has written a price list down for her to jog her memory, because everything on her table had been made in the 5 days leading up to the event. It didn't exist. She booked the event and then went, right, let's just think wedding, think what we can do, and she just made everything that was there within the 5 days leading up to it. So she had to write down a price list of stuff on the back to jog her memory, because it was all new. And so while she's in her patter, she's giving it the old, the old chat, the old blag. I've had to kind of lean in and go, "Bert, price list." Bert. And she's ignoring it. She's pattering away and all this kind of stuff. And in the end, I'm like, seriously? Okay, no worries, there's a price list. So I'm chatting to them, and she takes their details and everything like that. And I keep getting asked questions, and I don't know the answer to, because like I said, I wasn't supposed to be there. It's only because my shift got cancelled and I didn't work yesterday, which is Sunday. Which in this wind, like I said, I'm kind of thankful that I was sat down for 2 days, because today, Monday, and obviously tomorrow's Tuesday, they're my days off normally. Now, I was supposed to be getting a delivery of car tyres today from Black Circles. However, it's scheduled for tomorrow now, most likely because of the wind, things have been held up, road closures. I can't hold that against Black Circle, but that was what this upload was going to be. I was going to be holding a tyre talking about my experience of Black Circles. Although what I might do, like I said, product review here, I'll do that for the vehicle channel, talk about Black Circles on the vehicle channel, and that will come up in a couple of months' time. But yeah, so I wasn't supposed to be at this wedding fair, and I had no clue. It was Del Boy and Rodney, and I was Rodney. And it wasn't as if I was nondescript either. I was the only person standing there in the cowboy hat. I knocked somebody else's display down as well. But don't worry, I did it to Bert as well. I leant forward and forgot the brim of my hat and straight through. I'm like, oops. Had to go out for that one. But yeah, it was tightly packed. All the tables were very close together. But it was a fun day out, and it was Bert's very first business fair of any description, and she gave it 110% and did very well, considering that, like I said, when you go to wedding fairs, it's flowers, it's florists, sorry, camera people, maybe the band, venues, that kind of stuff, and dresses. You don't really think about the little knickknacks and the odds and sods that can also accompany a wedding. And so she was the only one there doing it, and she really did give it her all. But the problem is they cancelled the second day, and you paid for 2 days. And the cake makers and the florists were really pissed off, because we were all called up to a meeting when the fair ended at 3:30. And we're all sitting there, and the news is being given, we're not going to be doing this tomorrow, safety reasons, so on and so forth. And one of the bakers, he was all dressed up, in the chef's outfit and everything. He was like, well, that's all well and good, but these cakes aren't going to last. And I've put a lot of time and effort into making these cakes to generate work over 2 days. And of course, as soon as he started saying it, all the florists started going, yeah, and our flowers will die. And all this kind of stuff. They were obviously angling for reimbursement, and you can kind of understand it. Why was it not made clear that there is a potential that the wedding fair will not happen over the 2-day period because of the impending storm? And I have to give it to the event organisers. She turned round when that was raised, well, hold on a minute, if you knew this could be a risk, why were we not told? And she turned around and went, this storm has been in the news for about a week. If you didn't think about it, again, it was organised by somebody that sounded like they'd come from the East End of London. If you didn't think about it, useless little shite, that boy. But it was a good bash, it was a good day out. I had fun, although my feet went dead. Standing, I'm like I said, I'm trying to get fit at the moment. I'm trying to infuse myself to get fit. And I'm way overweight. Way overweight. And I was standing there all day for like 5 hours. Well, we were actually there for 6.5, 7 hours, because the setup and everything, and the show itself was 4.5 hours. So I was standing up for a good 5 hours straight, and my back, below my lower back was locking, my feet were going dead. I'm really not fit. Bit of a wake up call. Hey, it's really weird. My big toe on my left foot, it's not numb, but it gave a little bit now, but it was worse the last couple of days. The Sunday and last night, sorry. It gave the impression of being numb, but it wasn't. I can feel everything through it. I've tested, the kind of, you test your circulation, don't you? You press down, it goes white, and it goes red again. I've tested all that, it's all fine. It's just really weird. I think I trapped something when I was standing there, trapped a nerve or something like that. And it's a really weird feeling. It's not discoloured or anything, but it was really weird. And so I'm hitting the cycling, the static bike a little harder than normal at the moment. Don't know how long that's going to last. Probably not very long. But yeah, it was a good crack. So, thinking I didn't have anything to talk about. But yeah, there's a few things that I was thinking about talking about, but I don't really want to start a bum war on YouTube. And if I talk about it in any detail, it could do. But all I'm gonna say is, most of you will have seen me throughout since I started, and you'll have heard heard my patter and all that kind of stuff about wages in this industry being crap. Well, a number of people, when I've said that before, have come out and had a go at me, or they've defended bad wages. And of some of the more higher profile people who've defended or had a go at me, they've left their jobs because of low wages. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, but it is amusing. But yeah, it's all fun. But anyway, I think that's enough for this week. I spoke about the wedding thing and said what I'm planning on doing, some product reviews, and I'm not going to give this any chance. Okay, I've never even opened as you can see at the back, peel here to see the instructions. I've not done that. I'm going to take the Jag, which has got some filthy wheels on it because I haven't cleaned that Jag at all, and it's really, really dirty. And I'm just going to apply this. I'm not going to dust off any of the dirt. I'm not going to get it wet first. I'm not going to wipe through or anything like that. It's going to go, roll the Jag onto the driveway, straight onto the dry, dirty, filthy wheel. I'll probably agitate it a little bit with an old paintbrush or something, and then it will just literally rinse it off with a pipe filled with East Anglia's finest, and see how it does. I'm going to test this product without giving it any chance in hell, so it's going to have to be a good product. And that's what I'm thinking about doing, because when you get the paid promotions and stuff, people test the products following the letter of the instructions. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's perfectly fine. That's what you're supposed to do, let's be honest. But I'm not being paid to promote any of this. So I don't care whether it looks bad. I'm not going to lose sponsorship. So I'm going to do what everybody else does. You buy it, you use it, you never read the instructions. So I'm thinking about doing that. But anyway, thanks for watching this one. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I'll see you next week. And again, I haven't got a bloody clue what I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, have fun. See you later.